The next event in Pokemon Sleep Spring Festival 2025 is just around the corner. With it comes 2 new dishes, one of them probably going to power creep, the other probably more tailored to newer players. And along with it, a new Pokemon line is coming, Chansey's evolutionary line. And I think I'll be going to Cyan Beach for this event. Welcome back to another Pokemon Sleep video, it's Bro Vinny here. While we do know that the new Pokemon Happiny, Chansey, and Blissey are going to be normal types, and Snoozing Sleep type, except for Happiny who's a baby Pokemon typically under Slumbering Sleep type, we don't yet know their specialty. So we won't go in depth about the new Pokemon, except to note that they will be available at 3 areas only, Greengrass, Cyan Beach, and Snowdrop Tundra. During this event, no matter which area you go to, you're guaranteed to get salads as your dish. And while we don't know the exact recipes for the 2 new salads yet, based on previous experiences, it's a good idea to farm up your fancy eggs and pure oil before this event, if you're planning to cook the new dishes. Of course, we do suspect the new Pokemon will be farming eggs or oil. You're not likely to get a really good one on day 1, so prepare your eggs and oil in preparation for this event, if your goal is to level up a new recipe. But in the first few days of the event, you might want to focus on cooking some other salads that you've already leveled up, so that you can power up your Snorlax a bit quicker than trying to level up new dishes. Cooking Defined Coffee Dress Salad, Ninja Salad, or Greengrass Salad, these are all good options to power up your Snorlax in the early week, as we do typically expect newer Pokemon to have higher drowsy power requirements, so it's good to power up your Snorlax. Especially so because during this week, dishes are going to be extra strong, getting a 1.5 times multiplier. So on a normal day, if you get Extra Tasty, it'll be worth 3 times. If you get Extra Tasty on a Sunday, it'll be worth 4.5 times. Which means during this week, dishes are going to be very powerful, especially if you make sure you cook your strongest recipes, even if you need to run Cooking Power Up Pokemon to expand your pot, and especially so if you run Tasty Chance S. You really want to be getting those crits if you can, so if you haven't invested at the Dedenne yet, now is probably a good time. And if you don't have a good Dedenne, maybe have a look for a Cramorant or a Weavile. This event will begin on the 5th of May and last for 1 week. While this event will be available in all areas, which area you go to will depend on what situation you're in and what Pokemon you still need to hunt. You'll want to utilize the boosted spawn rate for this event, with Happiny's line getting an extra boosted spawn during this event, but other oil and egg farming Pokemon are also getting a boost. Banana Tanks has beautifully put together a graphic for us to see all the boosted spawn Pokemon. So at Greengrass, we've got all of these, at Cyan Beach, Taupe Hollow, Snowdrop Tundra, Lapis Lakeside, and Old Gold Power Plant. Now, if you're hunting the new Pokemon, like myself, the best area to go to is most likely at Cyan Beach. That's because you have less other Pokemon with boosted spawn to compete. While at Snowdrop Tundra, you get more different species that would compete for those spawn counts. Although, without knowing the exact stats of the Chansey line, it's always a bit of a risk to say that I want to hunt the new Pokemon, because it may not be that good. It could be good, we don't know yet. So given that one Pokemon will for sure arrive hungry during every day of the event, it may be worth considering an area with a boosted spawn Pokemon where you're still hunting that Pokemon. For example, if you're missing a mono Toxicroak, you could go to any of these areas, especially Taupe Hollow, to hunt for a Krogunk. Although you'll probably find better value in using the extra hungry on Pokemon that require more bars to fill. So for example, Delibird. And while I would like to say that Snowdrop Tundra is where you would normally find eggs, I'm a little disappointed that Snover is actually not a boosted spawn. Even though it's the main egg farmer that doesn't cost 16 pips to catch. But at Snowdrop Tundra, we also see Cramorants, so between Delibird and Cramorant both being 16 pips to catch, you may find better value in utilizing that extra hungry at Snowdrop Tundra. Of course, it's not guaranteed to land on those 2 Pokemon, but in other areas at Cyan Beach, for example, there's really just Cramorant that can utilize that well. Ditto is also an option, but it's available in all areas, so we're just gonna ignore Ditto in this discussion. Snowdrop Tundra also have other great options to catch if you haven't already got a good Sphere, so I don't think it's a bad idea at all. I would probably avoid Lapis Lakeside this week because Togepi, Swablu, Riolu, they're not really that meta, and Altaria, well, there's no Dragon Island yet, so it's not urgently needed. Old Gold Power Plant is actually not bad if you're specifically hunting for either Ditto, Magnemite, or Shuppet. All 3 Pokemon are at the top of the niche, and there's not a lot of competition with other spawns. As usual, I probably avoid Greengrass unless you're really early game and you need to go to Greengrass for that area bonus, but because of the amount of spawns that are available at Greengrass, you may not get what you want. the spawns will just be too random. So my preferred area for this event, specifically so I can hunt the new Pokemon Chansey's line, is at Cyan Beach. But if I'm new to the game, any of these 4 Pokemon can have meta relevance. They're all quite good for what they do. Cramorant is an odd one out. It does farm at a bit less oil than Toxicroak, but it has a powerful skill. Although, as usual, if you're going to invest in a powerful skill, why not go to the skill specialist that's Dedenne? Having said that, Dedenne is not boosted during this event, so maybe you can catch a good Cramorant instead. And unless I'm specifically hunting for Krogunk, I probably avoid Topolo, because Ditto and Shuppet both have better spawn rate at All Gold Power Plant, and Riolu and Sableye are still not top tier for their skill. Also a little disappointed to not see Luxray's line being boosted for this event since it also can farm oil. Regardless, I think most of us won't be going to All Gold Power Plant anyway because, well, the new Pokemon isn't there. And yes, I know Murkrow's coming and there's a Darkrai event, but there's not any information so far, so we'll be talking about that in a separate video. Thank you for watching, guys. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and let me know what you think of the Spring Festival.